हरि बोल। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरि बोल। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना। यमुना यमुना जय हो राधा। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। यस, वो बोले हाँ दे देंगे। बोल दे। हाँ बोल दे बस। समझ गए हो क्या?
हरे कृष्ण। मुझे इंग्लिश में बोले इंग्लिश में पीछे ट्रांसलेशन हरे कृष्ण। साउंड क्लियर? Somebody can read it. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 89, and verse number 4. 4? Govardhana Maharaj covered 1. Start from 3 or 4? 3. 3. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 89, verse number 3. जो डिवोटीज जूम में सुन रहे हैं, ये 10वें स्कंद है और 89 अध्याय है और श्लोक नंबर 3। न तस्मै प्रवनं स्तोत्रम् चक्रे सत्त्वपरिजया तस्मै चुक्रोध भगवान् प्रज्वलन् स्वेन तेजसा न तस्मै प्रवनं स्तोत्रम् चक्रे सत्त्वपरीक्षया तस्मै चुक्रोध भगवान् प्रज्वलन् स्वेन तेजसा न तस्मै प्रवनं स्तोत्रम् चक्रे सत्त्वपरीक्षया तस्मै चुक्रोध भगवान् प्रज्वलन् स्वेन तेजसा।
वो चालू मिल नहीं रहा है।
तीनों में
कनेक्टेड उसको ढूंढना पड़ेगा।
वो भेज दो, एक रियल में का है वो भी भेज
चक्रे सत्ता परीक्षया
माता जी
चक्रे सत्ता परीक्षया
No, not tasmai to him, Lord Brahma. Prahavanam, point down. Stotram, recitation of prayers. Chakre, made. Sattva, his situation in the mode of goodness. Parikshaya, with the aim of testing, tasmai, at him, Shukrodha, became angry. Bhagavan, the Lord, Prajvalan, becoming inflamed. Svena, with his own. Tejasa, passion. Translation by the followers of Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. To test how well Lord Brahma was situated in the mode of goodness, Bhrigu failed to bow down to him or glorify him with prayers. The Lord became angry at him, inflamed into fury by his own passion. There is no purpose, so we will go on to the next verse. Atmaniuditam mandyum atmadyatmano prabhu ashishatma yathavahane swayonaya vahinatmahu. Though anger towards his son was now rising within his heart, Lord Brahma was able to subdue it by applying his intelligence in the same way that fire is extinguished by its own product, water. Purpose. Lord Brahma is sometimes affected by his contact with the mode of passion. But because he is Adi Kavi, the firstborn and foremost learned scholar in the universe, when anger begins to disturb his mind, he can control it by means of discriminating self-examination. In this instance, he reminded himself that Bhrigu was his son. Thus, in this verse, Sukadeva Goswami draws the analogy that Brahma's own expansion, his son, served to put out his anger, just as water, which originally evolved from elemental fire in the primeval creation, puts out a fire. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Gyananjana Chakshurunhitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Paramalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathantam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Pitam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mancha Kalpatarvyasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 louder please Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Very much. Very grateful to all the devotees of Shri Radha Das Vihari Mandir for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you by repeating the precious words of Shri Bhagavad. Especially grateful to my dear friend, Madhya, like my elder brother, guide, has been consistently for decades, leading us all in service to Shri Prabhu. I have spoken many times, Radha is my birthplace, spiritual birthplace. I always feel very happy whenever by the Lord's kingdom I get the opportunity to come here to some service. The place where Prabhupada sacrificed so much of his precious time and energy to build a foundation for his preaching here in India. Prabhupada's cosmos was very. Yesterday I was reading a section in Chaitanya Charitamrita where Lord Chaitanya is instructing Sanatana Goswami, and he says that the moola, the root of all progress in bhakti is sadhu sangha, association of devotees. From the beginning stage to the middle stage till the prayojan stage, we all need the association of devotees. And this is the purpose why Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully blessed us with this divine temple, place where we can all come together, glorify the Lord and His deeds. Krishna Katha means not only glorification of Krishna, but also His deeds. In fact, we see Bhagavatam is, for the first 9 cantos was filled with glorification of devotees and some incarnations also. Because the Lord cannot be separated from His devotees. Krishna feels more pleasure when we glorify His devotees than when we glorify Him. Just like Krishna became more angry if we offend His devotees compared to offending Krishna. Here today in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we are reading this beautiful story of Prabhu Muni testing Lord Brahma, then Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. This whole pastime is actually very transcendental because here the sages on the bank of the river Saraswati are engaged in discussing as to who is the supreme among all things. And the criteria, the basis is tolerance. In one nice purport in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains that one can know the greatness of a person by his ability to tolerate provoking situations. In this material world, whoever we are, wherever we are, we all go through challenges, both material and spiritual. Disturbances from within and without. Adhyatmic, adhibhautik, adhidevi. And the test of the greatness of a person is how we can tolerate. To become undisturbed. Hira, like Lord Shiva is giving an example of Hira. But here, this particular pastime is specially designed to glorify Lord Vishnu. We see that Prabhu Muni is now, in today's verse, is approaching Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma happens to be the father of Prabhu Muni. It's general etiquette that when the son goes to meet the father or the disciple goes to meet the spiritual master, the spiritual master is like spiritual father. So the very culture is one bows down or touches the feet of the father, mother. In fact, now things have changed a lot, but till the time when I was young, about 50 years back, the custom was whenever someone would get up, he would first offer respects to his mother and father. So here we see that Bhrigu Muni is approaching Lord Brahma and purposefully he did not bow down. just to test him. Lord Brahma, he became angry. And it is explained in a beautiful purport written by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada that how Lord Brahma is sometimes affected by the mode of passion. The difference between Lord Vishnu and Brahma and Shiva. Lord Vishnu or Krishna is completely unaffected. But sometimes Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they become affected. Lord Vishnu is having the 60 qualities out of the 64 qualities of Lord Krishna. Lord Brahma has 50, Lord Shiva has 55. So all of this tattva is nicely explained by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the teachings of Sanatana Goswami, which he gave on the bank of the river Ganga. Just a couple of months back, I was in Varanasi with some devotees. And the exact place is there, where the home of Tapan Mishra. You've been there, Prabhu? Tapan Mishra's home in Banaras, house of Tapan Mishra. There. And there is a place of Chandrasekhar. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, only 2-3 devotees were there. There was Tapan Mishra and one Chandrasekhar and one Maharashtriya Brahman. Maharashtra has a very important role in Gaur Lila because the Maharashtriya Brahman arranged a meeting with Lord Chaitanya and Prakashananda Saraswati. And then the whole followers, Prakash Saraswati with his 60,000 followers, all joined his cause. They all became devotees. So, in Varanasi, Lord Chaitanya explained in detail different tattvas. He explained the 6 kinds of avatars. There is Purusha avatar, there is Lila avatar, there is Guna avatar, there is Manvantan avatar, there is Yuga avatar. What else? Shakti Avesha. So, nothing should be taken blindly. Srila Prabhupada would often emphasize that whatever we want to know, we should know it through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, not just sentiment. It's like so many people in India, they have got good sentiments, but because of lack of proper Shastric knowledge, they tend to accept any powerful personality as a supreme Lord. It is natural for anyone to respect a great person, but we cannot artificially put everybody in the same platform. So that is why distribution of Srila Prabhupada's transcendental literature is so important that people can understand the tattva, who is God, who is Supreme Lord. The Lord Brahma is sometimes affected by the mode of passion. The Jivatma, the living entity, is not the Supreme Lord. Sometimes, in rare cases, when there is no living entity who is qualified to be Lord Brahma, then the Supreme Lord assumes the position of Lord. But Brahma is a post. But ultimately, Brahma Paryantam, from Brahma Loka down to Patala Loka, everywhere it's a place of wisdom. Krishna has designed this material world in such a way that we cannot be happy here. Recently, when I was coming by train from Nasik, one gentleman was asking that God is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why is it that He creates misery for His children? The Supreme Father should give all nice facilities to His children. In this material world, a father and mother like to see the son comfortable. But why is that God sending miseries? After all, without the sanction of Krishna, nothing can take place. So I was trying to explain from Prabhupada's books how these miseries are actually a catalyst. They are catalyst. All of you know this word catalyst. Catalyst is a chemical which helps in expediting the chemical reaction. The miseries are catalyst. One devotee gave a very nice example that when we hear from the Shastra, when we hear from Guru and Sadhu, sometimes it just doesn't register. We don't take it seriously. But a miserable situation sometimes makes our heart open to hearing the sound of the spiritual world. An example of given of a blacksmith. The blacksmith takes the iron, puts it in fire. Once it's put in fire, it's very hot, and then you hammer it, then you can shape it as you like. If you just take it and hammer it cold, nothing will happen. But once it's put in the fire, and then you hammer, then you can nicely shape it as you like. The miseries of this material world, sansara dava, nangalini, they are like fire. And in this miserable situation, the living entity ultimately turns towards Krishna. That is the perfection. So Lord Brahma is a living entity, and he is very, very pious person. An ordinary person cannot become Lord Brahma. It takes heaps and heaps of pious activities to become Lord Brahma. But here we see the Lord Brahma became somewhat angry. Kama-esha, Krodha-esha, Rajoguna, Samudra. The effect of the mode of passion, anger, lust, greed. We are all, can imagine if Lord Brahma is affected, how much more we will be affected. We are all insignificant Kali Yuga achievers struggling to control the mind. So Lord Brahma controlled his anger by his intelligence. That's another thing. Sometimes a devotee may become disturbed, but one should try not to react. There are three levels of devotees. There is the same Lord Brahma, when he comes as Haridas Thakur, he is not at all disturbed. See the difference. Here Lord Brahma is disturbed because his son is not offering pranams. But the same Lord Brahma, when he becomes Haridas Thakur, how much he has to go through. Haridas Thakur's life is an example of how a devotee is willing to do anything and everything to promote, to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. Haridas Thakur was born in a Yavana family. And as all of you know, this was also by his own desire. After Lord Brahma tried to take away all the calves and all the cowherd boys from Vrindavan, and he hid him in Brahma Loka, and Lord Krishna expanded himself into innumerable calves. And Lord Brahma understood his mistake. He fell down at the feet of Lord Krishna. If you go to Vrindavan and you go from Delhi to Vrindavan, before we take a turn at Chhattikara, there is one village called Chamuha. Chamuha, where is it? That's the exact place. Chamuha means four-headed, where Lord Brahma actually offered pranams. Chamuha. It's also the village where Aghasur was killed. It's called Ajay. And there is where our Gurukul is there, Bhaktivedanta. In the Gurukul, they have made a very beautiful, I cannot say deity, a statue of the Aghasur snake, big snake, Aghasur. So, Chamuha, the place, Lord Brahma offered such beautiful prayers. The prayers of Lord Brahma, the prayers of the Acharyas reveal the spiritual world. One cannot know the absolute truth by one's own intelligence. But when great souls like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni, when they glorify the Lord, it gives us a glimpse of the glories of Supreme Lord. One of these shlokas which Lord Brahma offered, very dear to our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, that Tenukampa Samikshaman Punjan Evatma Kritam Vipakam Ridvar Vapurvi Vigadhan Namaste Jive Pades. Translation is that one who, when undergoing miseries, accepts it as the mercy of the Lord. Ridvar Vapurvi, with his heart, with his words, he thanks the Lord, thinking that I deserve to suffer worse. But the Lord is giving me a small, tiny reaction. One is grateful. Such a person, Ridvagu, Jiveti Mukti Padesadai. He is fit to go back to spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada would often quote this verse to show how a devotee should be tolerant and accept whatever happens as a mercy of God. Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. The Lord Brahma offered nice prayers. And then he was still thinking that I should perform some tapasya. A devotee always is transcendentally happy, at the same time unsatisfied. A devotee always feels, maybe I should try to do more for Krishna. He always feels that there is so much shortcoming in my devotions. For other devotees, a devotee thinks, yes, this other devotee is very nice. But I am full of faults. Amar jivan sadapate nahi ko punyera nesha. It's a song our predecessor Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Amar Jivan Sada Pavan, full of faults. There's no good qualities. Gopinath, Mama Nivedanash, Vishay Durjana Sada Kama. One of the symptoms of an advanced devotee is always is glorifying the Lord, and Vigyapti is praying for the mercy of the Lord, and always finding, always meditating on one's own shortcomings. Never thinking that I'm great. We never find a great soul saying that I'm great. Always thinking I'm insignificant. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, when they met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first time they met was in Ramkheli. Many of you been to Ramkheli? It's a very beautiful place. Malda, 4 hours from Mayapur. Very Radha Kund, there is Madan Mohan temple. Rupa Sanatan, they are materially, they were prime minister and finance minister. And spiritually, they are descending from the spiritual world. Goswami Rupa Manjari, so exalted. But here, when they meet Lord Chaitanya, they immediately start humbling themselves. Oh my dear Lord, Patita Pavan Hetu, Tomar Avatar, Ama Bai Patita, Jagate Nahi Ay. We have descended to deliver the most fallen. There is nobody more fallen. We have heard that you delivered Jagai and Madhai. But we too are millions of times more degraded than Jagai and Madhya. Sometimes our rational thinking fails when we read the prayers of the Acharyas. It's beyond rational thinking. How can somebody think that I'm lower than a murderer? Jagai Madhai were rapists, they were murderers, they would put people's home to fire. And Rup Sanatan, they are the most gentle person in the whole universe. Yet they are thinking that I'm lower than Jagai and Madhya. It is only the causeless mercy of the Lord which gives one this quality of humility. This is the heart of every aspiring Vaishnava and every perfected devotee. This verse should be echoing in the core of our hearts every moment. Always thinking, I'm the Lord of the universe. Our dear founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, writes a beautiful prayers. Recently, there was a festival in Boston where many Srila Prabhupada disciples they gathered the 60th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada. And we are reading the prayers of Srila Prabhupada. He writes, Bado Kripa Kainam Krishna Adhamera. He doesn't say, Krishna, you've been so merciful to this Mahatma. I am a great sannyasi. He says, Adhamera. You brought me here. I do not know what is your plan, my Lord. I have no purity. I have no Shakti nahi, Veda nahi. I have no knowledge. Srila Prabhupada, one of the greatest scholars in the present world, is saying that Bhakti nahi, Veda nahi. I have no knowledge, I have no. Really, the hallmark of a great Vaishnava, humbling oneself before the Lord, before the Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada concludes by saying, Nachao, 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 Singh. I am a puppet in your hand. You can make me dance the way you like. I am a puppet in your hand. Srila Prabhupada never claimed any credit for the innumerable wonderful things he did. Simply said that I am simply trying to repeat the words of my spiritual master. He would give credit to his disciples. Say, you are all representatives of my. So here you find Rupa and Sanatana similarly saying, my dear Lord, for us to attain your mercy is like a dwarf trying to touch the moon. It's impossible for us to get your mercy. But please be kind to us. I am Anatha. Please make it Sanatha. Please accept it. Such human, humble heart attracts your mercy. Humility is the most important quality, which draws the attraction of the all attractive Supreme. So Rupa and Sanatan, they fall at the feet of the Lord, and Lord Chaitanya, he just, Sanatan, give up your humility. My heart is breaking to see your humility. Lord Chaitanya immediately gave them the names Rupa and Sanatan. They had immediate diksha. Lord put his lotus feet on the head of these great personalities. The Lord Brahma, when he comes down and performs tapasya in Sri Dham Mayapur, even after being forgiven by the Lord, he comes to Sri Dham Mayapur and performs tapasya for many, many years. And the Lord appears, Ajanulambita Pujo, Kanakavadhato, Sankirtanambita Karo, Kamalaya Taksha, Vishwambaro Yugadhara, Vande Jagat Karuna. Beautiful, long arms, eyes extending up to the ears, Kanakavada, golden complexion, Sankirtanambita, father of the Kamalaya. Vishwambaro is the maintainer of the entire. And Lord Brahma falls at the feet of the Lord and prays, my Lord, please bless me that in my next birth I do not have to do any of this managerial service. I just want to glorify you and chant your name. Managing temple for Krishna's pleasure is the greatest service. But sometimes a devotee thinks I would like to have time just to glorify them, just directly hearing chant. So Lord Brahma, he prays to Lord, please give me a birth which is insignificant, where I do not receive any glorification. And Lord blesses him by saying, you will be born in a Yavan family. Not only that, you will go through so many difficulties. The Lord Brahma appears as Haridas Thakur. Some say that he appeared in Bangladesh. That's the place, the Budhan district. Interesting, so many of our great acharyas appeared. Narottam Das Thakur also appeared in Kheturi, that is Bangladesh. And similarly, Rup Sanatan also, they appeared in Jessore district, that is Bangladesh. Mukunda Datta, Vasudev Datta, they appeared in Chattigram, Pundarik Vidyani. Of course, it's not a very easy place to go now. Very risky. Huh? Yes, Srivastava. Now if you go, then you may go by a one-way ticket. We're not sure whether you can come back. Very, very risky. It was my great fortune to go with His Holiness Indradimna Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, a small yatra for 10 devotees. I was not in the list of the devotees, but somehow I got a backdoor entry. This was in 2004, about 21 years back. I still remember the English. Beautiful place, especially Kheturi. In Kheturi, there is a place where Lord Chaitanya called Prem Kali. Any of you been there? Prem Kali. There's a place where love of God is deposited. So Jayapata Swami Maharaj takes yatras there many times. There's one part of the river called Padma River. Padma River. Padma is actually as great as Ganges. The same river Ganges, which you find in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, then enters Bangladesh, called Padma. Very, very vast river. So there is a place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he deposited. He told the river that I'm keeping my love of God and give it to Narottam. It's something like I keep some money in the bank for my friend. So immediately the river asked, how will I know who is Narottam? The Lord said, that personality, when he enters into your waters, there will be a flood. And Narottam Das Thakur received mercy. Glorious. Haridas Thakur was born there, but From his childhood, he was attracted to the name of Krishna. He never criticized Muslims. He never said that Krishna is the only name. But he was chanting Krishna. Actually, one who is thinking that the particular name of God that I worship, that is the only name, is very, his intelligence is very weak. It is very meager understanding. Like sometimes they say that Christ is the only son of God. Well, even ordinary person has many sons. But God so important that he can have only one son. He can have so many children. Lord can empower so many living beings to do his preaching. But because we respect Lord Jesus Christ, Prabhupada says he is representative of God, he is like spiritual master. When I first joined ISKCON full time, just came back from America and was Radha Gopinath temple had just started in 1988. So I was given this service of interfaith service, studying different religions, Islam, Christian. I would go to the Muslim places also and churches and get some books. So I compiled one book called One God, where there is a parallel names of God with the same meaning. Like we made a table. There's one name called Rahim. Rahim means merciful. And there is Kripalu, which means merciful. Then the Bible also there is a name like that. Actually, anybody who reads the scriptures, whether it's Sikh or Zoroastrian or Islam, they will come to the conclusion that God is one. In fact, in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, there's one story how the Muslim Pathan soldiers they became devotees. Any of you have heard that story? When Lord Chaitanya was in Vrindavan, he was actually falling down in Yamuna many times. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya was very upset. He was thinking, if something happens to the Lord, I will be responsible. And then people would come and invite Lord Chaitanya, please come to my home, please come to my home. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya was confused. So he told, my dear Lord, people are coming to invite you. Tomara na paye loka mora matha khaye. People are coming to invite you and they cannot meet you and they trouble me. So I think we should leave Vrindavan and go to Prayag, the time of Kumbh Mela. Lord Chaitanya came to Vrindavan. Actually, he left from Jagannath Puri to come to Vrindavan on the day of Dashera, which is 2nd of October. But he reached Vrindavan at the end of Kartik. Almost 1.5 months he took to reach there. And then he stayed till January, approximately 2 months. And he was given this allurement. How can we tell, oh, you get out of Vrindavan, doesn't look nice. He said, actually, we have to go to Prayag at the time of Kumbh Mela. So let us go there. Lord Chaitanya was not so happy to leave Vrindavan. Can you imagine how Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. How can he even think of leaving Vrindavan? He was not happy. But then he told Balabhadra, I'm so grateful to you. You have brought me here. Now, whatever you do. And then suddenly Lord Chaitanya heard the sound of somebody, he saw a peacock. The peacock with his bluish neck. Lord Chaitanya remembered Krishna and he became unconscious. And then all the 4 devotees, there were 4 devotees Lord Chaitanya. There was Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was his servant. And there was one assistant of Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Then there was Rajput Krishna Das, one person from Rajasthan. And there was Sanodi Brahman, the local person. So all 4 of them were trying to help Lord Chaitanya come back to consciousness. And suddenly, we heard the sound of horses coming, Pathan soldiers. And they came and said, you are all thieves. We have fed him dhatura, a poisonous substance, and taken all his money. We will arrest you. And immediately they put chains on all 4 devotees. Devotees said, we are thieves. We are with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Said, no, you are all thieves. You two look from the local area. Other 2 are from Bengal. The 2 from Bengal, they were shivering in fear because other 2 were local. People always are fearless. So one of them was Rajput Krishnadas. He told, I am not ordinary person. I know the local Muslim governor here. And if I just send an indication, he will send cannons and they will plunder you and they will beat you and kill you. Sometimes we have to speak like this just for getting things. Say, I know the SP, I know the chief minister like that. I don't know whether they actually knew, they spoke like that. And then, by the Lord's arrangement, Lord Chaitanya came back to consciousness. And before Lord Chaitanya came, they released the devotees. And they told Lord Chaitanya, see, these people are thugs. They are thieves. They took away all your money. Lord Chaitanya said, no, they are not thugs. I am sannyasi. I don't have any money. I don't have any account. And these are my associates. So then there was a discussion. One of the Muslims, his name was Vijuri Khan, he actually had a discussion with Lord Chaitanya on the basis of the Quran. On the basis of the Quran, Lord Chaitanya proved that the Supreme Lord has a blackish complexion. And he has a form. And then Lord Chaitanya initiated one of them also. He was given the name Ram Das. Direct initiation, no IDT course, direct. Special mercy. And then Lord Chaitanya ordered them that now you go and preach the glories of the holy name. They started preaching, like PDS, traveling dacoits and parties. They became devotees. The Lord Chaitanya's mercy extends to all religion. Lord Chaitanya never. Srila Prabhupada is the perfect example of this. And people from all backgrounds taking shelter of Krishna. Haridas Thakur, he came to a place which is now called Benapur. That is the place where the prostitute came. That is the place, it's part of Bangladesh. As soon as you go from India towards Bangladesh, it's very nearby. There's a place called Petropol, and then there's Benapur. In Benapur, Haridas Thakur was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. And Ramchandra Khan, he was a Hindu. He was a Jamindar, but he was very envious. Envy is very dangerous, even more dangerous than lust and greed and anger. Because envy causes one to do Vaishnava Parad. When I see some devotee doing something better than me, I should feel happy. If I feel happy, glorifying devotees, appreciating devotees, and taking pleasure in their being more advanced than me, then Krishna will give me mercy. But if I feel envious, then I lose the opportunity for making spiritual. Envy is what separates us from Krishna. Actually, when I'm envious of anyone, I'm envious of Krishna. I'm envious of somebody because of his abilities. That ability is coming from Krishna. Ramchandra Khan was envious of her, not tolerate. He was saying that everyone is going to meet Haridas Thakur, and I am out of business. So he wanted to defame Haridas Thakur. He called for the prostitutes, the most beautiful prostitutes, that I'll pay you whatever, you go and cause Haridas Thakur to fall down. And we know the story when the prostitute came. If you go to Benapur today, there's a deity of Haridas Thakur and deity of that great Vaishnavi also. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was saying, she is one great woman, even sannyasis bow down to her lotus feet. Because she became a great devotee. You know the story how she came and tried to attract Haridas Thakur's mind. You are young, I am young, we are made for each other. Haridas Thakur could have thought, you nonsense, get out of here. I mean, that's what ideally a brahmachari sannyasi should do. What Haridas Thakur did is something only he can do. A person like me who is very, very low in consciousness, if he tries to imitate Haridas Thakur, we will fall. The etiquette is if woman is alone, you should be run away from that place. You should never be alone. Matra Shwastra Dvitra. Even one's own mother or daughter. Haridas Thakur appeared to break the general law, but that is only Haridas Thakur could do like that. Like Narada Muni, we all saw that movie of Maha Nrsimhadev. He is instructing Kayadu, the mother of Prahlad, in a private place. And somebody else tried to do like that, he will surely fall down. Tejo Varam na doshe. Should not find fault, never imitate. Can follow whatever we can follow, but certain things Haridas Thakur just, no problem, I'll enjoy, but just let me finish my rounds. One day, 2 days, she was exposing her body. Haridas Thakur just chanted Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. And after 3 days, she fell at the lotus feet of Haridas. Please forgive me, I came with evil intentions to defame you. Haridas Thakur said, yes, yes, I know very well. But I was going to leave this place. But I just stayed for you. Now, Haridas Thakur said, I just was staying just for you. Now you take care of this place or temple, whatever. And I'm leaving. It explained that she gave up all her wealth and she became a renunciate, just wearing one cloth. And she was chanting 192 rounds also. Sometimes we try to preach in colleges and we give free prasadam for 6 months and then people start chanting 1 or 2 rounds. See the power of Haridas Thakur. Let's see 3 days of association. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Harinam Chintamani, the best way to develop taste for holy name is just go find a devotee, wear some face and just be with him. Even if you are not chanting, if you are with a great devotee, like Srila Prabhupada and their disciples and their followers, you will actually advance. And then next, Maya Devi herself came. This was in Pulia. Maya Devi came in a place called Pulia near Shanti. The Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, they had very good relations. Advaita Acharya was Grahastha and he was arranging accommodation for Haridas Thakur. And he would get prasadam from some Brahmana's home. And Haridas Thakur was sharing. The Advaita Acharya once had a Brahman bhojan. Like last week was Shraddha week, Amavasya Tilavasya. We invite Brahmanas to accept prasad for their ancestors. And he invited Haridas Thakur. And the most qualified Brahman is given the first prasad. And he gave first prasad to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur said, what will people think of you? People will say, Hare, Musalman ko dekhe, give Muslim. He respect Muslims. But when the Brahmana comes, then you have to give the most qualified Brahmins. Haridas said, why are you giving me? Advaita smiled and said, Toma bhojan kari, 40 Brahman sam bhojan hai. Feeding you is equal to feeding 10 billion Brahmins. Chane chane kare tumi nitya tirtha snan. Every moment you are taking bath in all the holy places. Every moment you are giving charity because every moment you are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. That should be our aspiration. Given the name Sadar. One beautiful purpose Prabhupada recommends that all devotees should try to chant constantly. We may not be able to chant the tongue all the time, but within our hearts, in a prayerful mood, we should take shelter of the holy. One devotee was asking yesterday, what does it mean to take shelter of the holy? It's one thing to just chant and utter the name negligently. Better than that is to chant carefully, attentively. But even better than that is to chant with mood of praying for mercy. Like Draupadi. Draupadi was crying for mercy when she was being destroyed. Like Gajendra the elephant, he was in danger. He tried his means to protect himself, but we need to shelter. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Nama bina kishu nahi par choda bhuvana. Devotee can understand from the writing of the great source that choda bhuvan is from Brahmaloka to Patala Loka. The only hope is suffering. Taking shelter, like we read in Krishna book, when Vrindavan there was forest fire, then all the Brajavasis they took shelter of Krishna. When there was rainfall, Giriraj, Govardhan, Lila, when there was somewhat the clouds, there was hailstorm, rainfall, lightning, Brajavasis all took shelter of Shilala Rasmita. This material world, we are in a place where the rainfall of miseries, material desires, anxieties. The holy name is like Giriraj. We take shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Then we are protected. After this, Maya Devi herself came to test Haridas. Can you imagine? We are attracted by the opposite sex. That is a small, insignificant part of Maya's power. Can you imagine if Maya Devi comes to power? What will happen? Don't imagine what will happen. You become mad. Become mad. Maya is so powerful. But here Maya Devi herself came and said the same thing. I am very beautiful. I want to enjoy with you. Haridas Thakur in the same format. I fulfill all your desires. Let me just finish my chant. And then after one day, a few days, third day, Maya Devi said, I am Maya. She is Durga. Durga Puja is going on. Durga Devi, she herself, she said, she is confessed. I am initiate. Lord Shiva is giving me Ram Nam. Ram Nam is very good. Mukti. This Tarak mantra, liberating mantra. But I want Krishna Nam. I want to achieve love for Krishna. So you please give me initiative. Can you imagine how exalted it does now? When Maya Devi became the cycle. Actually, the best way to celebrate Durga Puja is to chant Hare Krishna. Because Durga Devi will be very happy if she sees everybody is chanting. And she will not be so happy to see the dance, musical, filmy songs and people dancing without any spiritual purpose. But when she sees devotees coming to Ras Vihari temple, chanting and dancing, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Actually, she is very happy. Haridas Thakur gave mercy to Maya Devi. And then we find one place Haridas Thakur was being beaten in 22 marketplaces just for one reason. The Muslim Qazi did not like Hare Krishna. If you chant Hare Krishna, I'll beat you in 22 marketplaces. Haridas Thakur said, no problem. I cannot give up chanting. We give up chanting for small petty reasons. I remember a few years back I had malaria and I was down with fever and I was chanting with great difficulty. I could play 16 notes. But can you imagine Haridas Thakur? You were being tortured, you were being beaten, people were blaspheming you. He was smiling. There are three levels of devotees. First level of devotees, he becomes immediately angry if somebody blasphemes him. ईंट का जवाब पत्थर से, react with interest because nowadays nothing comes to eat. उसने एक गाली दी, हम दो चार दे देंगे. That is the lowest level. Second level is like Lord Brahma exhibited here. He felt disturbed but controlled himself. I know this is devotee is blaspheming me. So if I react, it's not good. Let me just control. I felt bad. But the highest level is Haridas Thakur, who did not feel any offense. He did not feel any offense. And he was being beaten. And Lord Krishna sent his chakra, Sudarshan chakra, to go and kill the offenders. But Haridas Thakur said, my Lord, I can tolerate what I am going through, but I cannot tolerate what these people will have. How many of us can even dream of such quality? Once devotee asked Prabhupada how to get the quality of tolerance in humility. Prabhupada replied, it's very difficult to get this quality. But by sincere chanting of the holy name, all good qualities will develop. Yasyasmi bhakti bhagavati atyachinna sarvipnas. Holy name is the means to get the qualities, and when we get these qualities, we chant more and more and more. The Haridas Thakur tolerated, and finally it came to the point that those who were beating, actually Lord Krishna covered his body with his own body, covered Haridas Thakur's body. And all the beatings went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He showed it to the devotees in one Lila during the deliverance of the Qazi. Lord Chaitanya actually showed to Haridas Thakur in Mahaprakash Lila all the beatings. See how much devotee takes difficulty for the Lord Lord takes devotee for difficulties for him. Krishna knows nobody else but his devotees. Devotees know nobody else except him. Mad anyante na jana. Sadhava hridayam mati. And finally, Haridas Thakur, the executioner, they were tired. And Haridas Thakur asked them, it looks like you're not being beaten. And they said, if you don't die, the Nawab will punish us for not doing our duty. Haridas Thakur said, okay, I'm dying now. Just went into a state of samadhi. They all thought that he is dead because there was no pulse rate, there was no heartbeat. And then they threw his body in the river Ganga. Haridas Thakur came on and Hare Ram, Hare Ram. And the Nawab came and begged forgiveness. Haridas, today I have understood. I have read in Quran, they call Peer. Peer means sadhu, great person. You are such a Peer. Please forgive me, Haridas. Haridas said, no, it's not your fault. It's the will of Krishna. Getting late, just one or two other points from Haridas Thakur's life. One is he was taken in a place, house of Raghunath Das Goswami. There was a seminar on holy name. Raghunath Das Goswami's father and uncle, Gordhan Majumdar, they arranged. And Haridas Thakur, everybody was told, please tell us, what is the effect of chanting? Somebody said effect of chanting is liberation. Somebody said effect of chanting is the material enjoyment. And Haridas Thakur was asked, he said, these are not the real results of chanting. The real result of chanting is development of love for Krishna. These are simply byproducts. Like you buy one refrigerator and you get one toothbrush free of charge. So you don't have to pay for that automatically. So I think it was Gopal Chakravarti, his name. He was very angry. He said, what nonsense you are speaking? We've undergone so much austerities for thousands of years. We don't get liberation. And you are saying just by Namabhas, Sri Krishna Hari, you get liberation. Where is it in the Shastra? Haridas Thakur spoke very gently. He said, Ajamil's story is there. He quoted the story of Ajamil. He explained from Shastras. But still, this Brahmana was so proud. He became so angry. He said, Haridas, what you are saying is nonsense. I will cut off your nose, cut off your ears. Somebody says something like this to me or to you, you will feel greatly offended. But Haridas Thakur was smiling. He was smiling. He said, oh, don't worry. If I am saying wrong, I will cut off my own nose. And then we know that the Brahman, he left contented like this. One other place, one devotee one Brahmana said, why are you chanting loudly? Do you not know Chaturmas is going on? Lord is taking rest. If we chant loudly, then there will be disaster. And the price of the rice will grow up and they'll beat you up. Haridas Thakur explained that Uccha Shata Guna Bhavit. Loud chanting is done to benefit all living beings. But then again he spoke like that. I'll cut off the nose. He also continued this. So Indian story that way. And in the end, we know how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him in Mahaprakash Lila, what do you want? Haridas Thakur did not aspire for anything, material or spiritual. He did not even ask for Vaikuntha or Goloka. He said, I want to become a dog in the house of a devotee. And we know how when Lord Haridas Thakur was about to leave the world, he requested Lord Chaitanya, please come and give me your association. He put the lotus feet of the Lord on his chest. He was looking at the beautiful form and Haridas Thakur departed. Lord Chaitanya was dancing with his body. And in the end, he was speaking the name Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was so much in ecstasy. He was happy and miserable. He was happy because a great soul had been back to God, but he was feeling sad. And then he himself performed final rites, putting Haridas Thakur into Samadhi, putting bath. He declared, this is Mahatir, that part of Jagannath Puri where he was taken. So in conclusion, we see that when Lord Brahma is in the mood of Haridas Thakur, then he's beyond passion and ignorance, because he's taken complete shelter of the Trigun Mai Maya, very difficult, deviation. But Mami Vai Maya. How to conquer the three moods? It's only by taking shelter of Krishna. And in this age of Kali, the Lord is admitted in the form of the Buddha. Just by chanting in a humble state of mind, in a prayer mood, crying for mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Simply chant even once. the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can all deliver like this. And I think she will also see Radha as well. I beg all of you, please bless me, especially when please bless me that I can follow 1%, 0.01% of Haridas Karma. Pass. I request Vajari Prabhu to comment or enlighten us.
Very wonderful class. I wrote time others are and you are telling that if we get some little of others quality, actually you have others. So nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Please, I'm also praying to all whoever is possible. Well, we don't know what will happen, but at the final stage, please come and chant in my ear. I'm going to say something.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Actual think of preparedness of doing actually. It's very wonderful. Like when Yuti Bala often prays to Krishna, Krishna's smile, then Prabhupada says that Krishna accepted the prayers. Then Indra is so very good, but when Lord Brahma often prays, people become respond. One of the reasons Krishna Chaitanya says that one of the prayers he says that I don't want all this post and all. Please give me work at the grade of class. Vrindavan. Aho bhagya. Then Mr. Parvan. Like that. Krishna accepts prayer. Then I have to give one the rule will done the universe. That is why Krishna did not speak. He said, no, like that. It is like that. Otherwise, this master, both master, because what big pleasure and all the gopis. So one more thing I when you are saying Advaitacharya gave Tara Prasad Vasu Haridas Karma. Same thing happened when during last week sacrifice. Whenever one like nuns were fed, they used to ring the bell. They used to ring the bell. Ring the bell. Yeah. There is a country, one bell used to ring. One like nuns fed. Like that. One day, the bell started ringing continuously. Not even prasad is being served. Then all ran. Then what happened? Prasad is not starting, but bell is starting. Then they all went to Krishna. And he said, Sukadeva Goswami came. He took some touching. Sukadeva Goswami, he took touching rice water. So he's so great. He's equivalent to billions and billions of brahmanas eating. That is where the bell started. So Krishna is so great. You can't even.
Sadhu. Prabhu, you want to speak?
हरे कृष्ण मैं एक एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहता हूँ एक समय मैं सांता क्रूज पे चर्च के जा रहा था तब मैं गलती से विकलांग के डब्बे में बैठ गया तो जगह वो खाली थी मेरे को ना खाली जगह बैठे तो कुछ समय के 15-20 मिनट के बाद तो किसी आए मेरे पास बोले क्यों बैठे हैं इधर? कोई जगह थी, क्या हुआ बैठे तो? अरे क्यों ले जाओ बुला रहे हो? फिर उन्होंने बोला अभी आपको हम फाइन कराएंगे, फाइन भरना पड़ेगा। मैं बोला कि तो पैसा देना नहीं, नहीं जा रहा हूँ देखने। फिर वो दूसरा बोला कि मैं 2 दिन पहले राधा मंदिर गया था, राधा रानी के मंदिर आया था दर्शन के लिए। और मैं बोला मैं राधा रानी के मंदिर से हूँ। तो बोला वहाँ के प्रेसिडेंट कौन है? मैं बोला बिजनेस प्रधानी और वो हमारे प्रेसिडेंट है। तो बोला कि लायक है बस कितना है? मैं बोला 22,555। तो उन्होंने तो सही कहा, बोला तुम तो सही बताया है, अभी पंडित जी को रिलीज करो। फिर वो उतार दिए और मैं बोला दोबारा मैं बैठूंगा। और राधा रानी के पास से मैं बच गया उधर। तो प्रभु की कृपा से वो भी आपत्ति टल जाती, जो भी आपत्ति आने वाली है वो भी रुक जाती है, और आई तो भी प्रभु की कृपा से टल जाती है। इसलिए हमें हमेशा हर परिस्थिति में प्रभु पर आश्रित रहना चाहिए। हरे कृष्ण।
Any other questions or comments? That's fine.
This is fine.
और कोई question है? Thank you. One question. Madhya has a question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the I don't think I need to know that he said that so what is not going to take the name of man to get there. Others who are around that person, they are chanting the holy name of the God, the universe, have the same result as the same.
Definitely. Even because many times we don't know how. Prabhupada said the time of death, the body is in the bath of the cup. So even if you're not able to chant, if somebody chants for you, and you that inspires you to remember Krishna. Because the judging point is yam yam vapi swaran bhava. Because somebody is doing nice things, and I remember I was Radha Hospitality, I remember the 80s, Radha Hospitality, Jagannath Puri, or definitely less people that I can do. Thank you. Aki Jaya, Radha Hospitality, one. हाँ मतलब मेरा दर्शन करा आपको सुनना है? नहीं ना दर्शन करा हाँ हाँ करा कराएंगे अरे ना अभी अरे क्यों हाँ तो लाइव चल रहा है
Yes.
Very urban, urban.
हरे कृष्णा। कैसे दर्शन हो रहा था ठीक से?
यस प्रभु जी, हो रहा था प्रभु जी।
अभी आधा घंटा आप लोग श्लोका पढ़ना चाहेंगे या जपाई करेंगे?
जैसे आप
जपा
बोलेंगे प्रभु जी।
जपाई कर लेते हैं आज, हाँ? क्योंकि
यस प्रभु जी, यस प्रभु जी।
ठीक, तो मैं इधर भगवान के सामने रख दूंगा, या फिर स्क्रीन शेयरिंग कर। हरि बोल। साढ़े 12 है ना? राम नाम में ना देना, कृष्ण नाम देना। हरि बोल। चलेगा। गुड फूड, लेकिन भगवान मूर्खों के द्वारा भी क्या करूँगी, कौन लगा है आप क्या? बहुत हो गई।
प्रभु जी, आज आपकी कृपा इतना अच्छा बरसा है।
कृष्णा
के लिए होता
थोड़ी
है।
देर के लिए स्क्रीन शेयरिंग कर देंगे, थोड़ी देर के लिए। हरि बोल, हरि बोल।